The Moon Sisters are coming, guys. The Moon Sisters are coming. Genshin teased something absolutely nuts, is basically what I'm trying to say. The trinity of moon goddesses who once steered the primordial celestial sphere and wove love and passion into the very heart of the world have long since faded into the shadows of time. There is some crazy... This is the Song of the Welkin Moon, by the way. That is what it is called. The Song of the Welkin Moon. Welkin, by the way, pretty sure means the abode of the gods. Celestia, I would assume. Yet those who follow the tides still sing and pray, for a new moon is set to rise. It gets better. It gets better. Look at this. See the star? We click it. When the eternal moon fell, the heavens and earth were thrown into chaos. Look at this. It's so pretty. And then we get another star. When the iridescent moon shattered, the crimson shadow sank into the abyssal sea. You'll see this. Look, the shattering orb of the moon. Oh my god, it's so sick, dude. By the way, this is one of the biggest lore bombs we've had since, like, since the Full Sky. But this has been in the game for years and years and years. And we're getting it in a freaking web event, dude. I can't wait to see this in-game. It's going to be crazy. It gets better. Third one, which I guess is a moon, not a star. When the frost moon ceased to turn, nations faltered and fell into ruin. And then we get the big moon. You see this one right here, dude? The world, no longer sheltered by eternity, marches towards its final breath. Yet from the ashes, the new moon rises, its ascent spinning the wheel of fate anew. I need y'all to do me a favor real quick and just remember that every single patch cycle, every single nation that we get, the biggest and the most accurate foreshadowing for the foreseeable future has always come in the form of the summer events. Summer events countlessly, time after time, have always foreshadowed the main plot points of the following nation. You have to remember that. And what did we get in Simulanka but a brand new moon rising into the sky? Everybody expected Durin Resurrection to be the big thing, including me. Not a single goddamn soul that I know of expected a brand new moon sister, maybe. Crazy, dude. Crazy stuff. And then we get even more. There is more. Look at all this. Do you see all this with the question marks? Are y'all seeing this like I'm seeing this? Beneath the shadow of the moonlight, something stirs, unseen yet inevitable. You click all of them, dude. They all say this. They all say this. This event is not finished yet. We are gonna get, time after time, new things in this that is gonna explain a lot of stuff. But if you look at this, what do you see? Because right here, I see what should probably resemble, that you can see here, the three sisters probably pointing into different directions, controlling different things. This looks heavily like a star chart. This could hold so many secrets, dude. This is the craziest thing. Dude, you'll have no idea. You'll have no idea if you haven't looked deeper into this image. I have to show you right now. What does this look like to you, first and foremost? What does this look like to you? Because to me, this looks like either a singular celestial nail or a nail colliding with something else, which we have not seen yet. But do y'all want to know what's crazy about this if you haven't seen it already? It says, beneath the shadow of the moonlight, something stirs, unseen but inevitable. Let me show you what happens if you simply turn up the contrast and brightness. You adjust the image here, chat, and look at this. It is insane. So in the other quality photo, this is all snowy mountains. This is what we see in the other image. Pretty certain this is just NOD-KRAI, dude. There is also, down here, you see this slight thing here? This is a little moon, and so is this. It's like little challenge icons that look like moons. And we're also not done yet. People of the moonlit world, please await the turning of the moon, for it will bring new revelations. Brother, this next patch update on Friday cannot come quick enough. It cannot come quick enough. There is something that I saw that I would very much like to watch with you guys. CatWithBlueHat's video because I saw that he posted one. Maybe there's some things we missed and maybe there's not, but this is absolutely crazy, dude. We are going to go through this video together and take a look at what we might have missed and what just other stuff. This web event is undoubtedly a teaser for NOD-KRAI as its relations to the moons of Teyvat. I agree. I think it is. It's also no coincidence that this was announced on the 10th of March, which is a new moon. It's also no coincidence, by the way, which... This is crazy, dude. The live stream on the 14th of March is coincidentally happening when the blood moon happens. A full lunar eclipse, a blood moon. It is insane. It has to be planned. This has made me more excited for this live stream than any other live stream I have been excited for in the history of Genshin Impact. And if they don't tease something in relation to what this is, I am going to lose interest in this entire patch cycle and just play Blue War and HSR. Additionally, the CM post for this event was created on 9/10. This might be a hint that version 6.0 will release on September 10th. Okay, I don't know about that one, Chief. I think maybe that's a stretch, I feel like, but hey, maybe not, maybe not. It could be interesting. The event is called Song of the Welkin Moon, so Welkin might be the 4th moon itself. Yes. Or it could also be that the moon we see in Teyvat is the Welkin Moon. Again, Welkin meaning, I'm pretty certain, the abode of the gods, or the heaven, basically. The moon in heaven, or the moon of the abode of the gods. It's very interesting. However, the event then explains the fate of all the 3 moons. It does. One moon is called the Eternal Moon. So pretty, dude, and it just shatters. Based on the visuals, it seems like the fall of this moon caused a great flood. What a prophecy, am I right? This flood could be the same one which destroyed the ancient civilization in the chasm. True, actually. Didn't think about that one. In one world quest, we help a Sumeru researcher take photos of fossils in the chasm's underground. Oh my god, we're going back to this little world quest? He was confused as to why the chasm had fossils of marine animals when it doesn't have a sea. This led him to conclude that before the chasm's formation, the entire area must have been underwater. Brother, holy... Listen, I'm not one to curse, but fucking hell! This is interesting. In Inazuma, a great flood submerged the entire region, leaving behind only the islands we see today. That is true. The area north of Narukami Island had a kingdom built on sand, which was also destroyed during a flood. Yes, we know that. Violet Court description states the Earth was said to be a lot larger than Heaven's Dome, or the fake sky. But one day, mirror shattered, which caused a flood, referring to the fall of the Eternal Moon. The ancient civilization of Tsurumi Island, which had a connection to Celestia, likely existed before this flood. Yes. You can even see the eclipse symbol on Tsurumi Island's Gramio. Yeah. Holy fucking shitballs. Brother, this is literally the whole fucking thing with the stars, the waves, and the fucking moons. Holy fucking shit. That's insane. But instead of a 2-body eclipse, it was actually a syzygy, a 3-body eclipse. Yeah, we couldn't tell this at first, but 1 moon, 2 moon, 3... Holy dude. Oh my god. This is all... Bro, this is too much. The fact that these murals are now underground means they were once above ground before the flood. That is crazy. In Fontaine, an Irminsul tree located in an ancient city was destroyed in a great flood. The guardian of this tree was a Seelie named Sibylla, whose mind and body devolves after the flood, or Sibylla. A man named Remus found Sibylla, and together they established the ancient civilization of Remuria, which if you swim through these, it actually creates a nice little tune. Ding, 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 ding. It is also likely that the ancient civilization of Dragonspine existed at the time of the 3 moons. Yes, I would argue it probably did. When Morax descended in Liyue, he is said to have quelled the seas and lowered the tides to make dry land. The entirety of Zhenyun Karst exists to draw all the surface water into an underground reservoir, and we know what that underground reservoir entails, don't we now? Overall, this visual of Eternal Moon reveals the cause of that ancient great flood. Bro. The second moon is referred to as the iridescent moon. When it shattered, could mean fell or destroyed, it ended up in the oceans or in the abyss. This could mean that the crimson moon seen by the Cambrians was this one. I mean, yes, we knew that, but brother, it is absolutely fucking insane to me that all of this shit, all of it, has been planned out since before the game came out. You can love Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse, and you can hate Genshin Impact or Hoyoverse. You can feel however you damn well please about the game and the company. But you'd be a fool to not admit that they are absolute geniuses in story writing. Notice how I said story writing, because I do think the storytelling could still use a hell of a lot of work in a lot of cases. Again, why are we doing this in a web event and not just... it blows my... I know, it's a teaser. We better get something in this freaking live stream on Friday, dude. We have to. If we don't, I quit for a week, or 5, or 10. I don't know, dude. That's crazy. Maybe the moon we see in the Spiral Abyss is the iridescent moon. However, whether the Crimson Shadow means the same or different moon is not clear. So, yeah, so the Crimson could be a shadow of this moon. Maybe this is where Lumine was running through in that trip. You just never know, man. Arlecchino has some powers from the Crimson Moon Dynasty. However, her powers also align with Renova, the ruler of death, a shade of the primordial one. We saw Renova alive during Natlan's Archon quest, so this removes the possibility that she's one of the Moon Sisters. But whether Renova and Iridescent Moon's shadow, Crimson Moon, are related is yet unknown. The third moon is called Frost Moon, which stopped turning. Thinking about this for a second, because also in the background here, we do see the moon still. Is it possible that the Tsaritsa could be one of the moons? I doubt it, right? I doubt it. Or at least a relation to the moons. I don't know. The upcoming NOD-KRAI region has people called Frost Moon Scions. They have statues of a moon deity which is related likely to the Frost Moon. Mawika also talks of NOD-KRAI having a mysterious power that is older than the 7 elements. Bro, you know what I would absolutely love? I would love if we got Moon Knight. But not like Moon Knight like the Marvel Moon Knight. The moon haunts you. Not that guy. But like a character totally based on the moon with moon abilities. You know what? Dude, I know it's never going to happen. This is the problem. I know it's never going to happen. Because the thing is, they have to tie everything into the elemental system at this point. Unless they go really fucking haywire with it, which would be absolutely wild. Having, like, people that can harness the light as power would be insane. Because light's not only one thing, right? It's not just the golden light that we see everywhere. The moon is literally... The moon shines because of the sun, because of light. Because light bounces off it and reflects from its surface. We could get, like, moon powers, solar powers, light powers. We could have so many different things. I just don't think it'd ever happen. I think that is asking far too much. I wish it would, but I don't see it. I don't see it. So it's likely that this power is related to the fallen Frost Moon. True. True. At the same time, Dottore is collecting Ancient Moon's fragments in NOD-KRAI. What the fuck is this guy's game plan, dude? Dottore is gonna use Signora's ashes to create the new moon, using the fragments from NOD-KRAI and Project Stuja to burn the Irminsul so nobody remembers that the moon was gone in the first place and the new moon's name is gonna be Signora. Tell me I cooked. Then there's Dragonspine's Skyfrost Nail, which could be from the Frost Moon. True. So far, we don't know which among the Eternal, Iridescent, and Frost Moons corresponds to Aria, Sonnet, and Canon. That is true, we don't know which ones. Or which of the 3 moons that the fragments we saw beyond the fake sky belong to. As well as which one is the Welkin Moon. The next screen shows a hooded figure sitting in front of a shattered moon. Yeah. What... No longer sheltered by eternity might mean no longer protected by the 3 moon sisters. You saw that the moons were all inside of each other in the very beginning. Is it totally out of the realm of possibility that the moon on the inside is an egg and the other 2 are protective layers? And then this is what hatched from that final moon? Sheltered by eternity meaning encased in the egg. Eggs are known for representing... Is it eggs that are known for representing eternity or life? I can't remember. But I do reckon this, whoever this is, was hatched from the moon. I think this is... like the moon sister, basically. Maybe the Welkin Moon. This eternity could mean the fate of Teyvat as written, protected by the moon sisters. Maybe this is why Raiden considered her ideal closest to the heavenly principles.
Only through eternity are you closest to the heavenly principles.
Just like the moon sisters, Raiden's eternity also protected her people from the outside world. Perhaps it's no coincidence that her charged attack looks like a crescent moon. Wait, who else's attack looks like a crescent moon? No one? Somebody else's does. It does. Is it Emily? Maybe. Maybe it represents the eternity of heavenly principles. Oh, so beautiful. The text talks of a new moon rising, which will spin the wheel of fate anew. Also, can we just think about this logically real quick? Hey, hear me out here, because this might be a really big long shot, but it might also just make a lot of sense. Stay with me here for a second, guys. For things to rise from the ashes, what is the one thing that everybody knows rises from ashes? A phoenix. What has to happen to said phoenix for another one to take its place and rise from the ashes? It has to die. So when the moons all die, and this is the remaining thing not protected by the moons, could this not just be the new moon and it just needs to be nurtured enough to rise into the new moon? This is the residual effects of the final moon shattering and dying, and then it just has to be nurtured and grow into rising from the ashes into a new moon. And it could be Paimon. It could be so many different things. However, the lore so far states that one of the three moon sisters is still alive. The lore so far does, yes. One possibility could be that one of the dead moon sisters was replaced by someone. Don't get any fucking ideas. The interesting thing is that we can see the syzygy image in the top left. Yes. It's an overlaid with a unique four-pointed... She has long had the three moons on her cape, along with the stars the moon sisters liked. Bro, is Paimon gonna be the fucking Welkin Moon? Bro, if this ends up being a situation where in that Welkin Moon image, it is Paimon in the front, and then the sun and the moon is supposed to be Aether and Lumine, I am gonna lose my mind. This is the craziest lore we've got in such a long time. Min also did a video about it. Let me see what Min had to say about it. I'm so surprised Min hasn't messaged me with an abundance of caps lock letters already about this.
Hoyoverse is dangling over our heads a region where Celestia's rule really doesn't reach. A place teeming with outlaws, forgotten relics, and a power unlike anything we've seen before. Welcome to NOD-KRAI. From its untamed landscapes to its mysterious moon-worshipping cult, not gonna lie, I'm gonna be upset if this upcoming region isn't one of the most lore-packed and unpredictable places in Teyvat.
I'm gonna be incredibly upset if in this live stream in a few days we get absolutely nothing. Especially because, just as a heads up, guys, I think the plan is I am going to begin the, 72-hour capped, however long it's going to be, subathon when this live stream is starting on Friday.
Because I'm finally starting to feel like we're actually close to uncovering the truth of this world.
It's gonna be fun.
What if I told you that the people of NOD-KRAI harness a power that potentially predates visions? That their power might come from the moon? That the Tore and the Fatui are already experimenting on it?
Yeah.
The best part? We'll be there soon. Liben described NOD-KRAI as a lawless frontier where people from all over Teyvat gather in search of fortune. But he also warns Traveler of the region's dangers. He himself was robbed there and had to have his goods retrieved by the Voynich Guild. NOD-KRAI doesn't have formal courts of laws or authorities like
oh god, here we go.
The Knights of Favonius. Instead, they have the Voynich Guild. Other than Liben mentioning that the guild was rather generous when they retrieved his stolen goods and bought them off of him, we don't know much about them or if they're in cahoots with the Fatui. The Fatui have always been the strongest force in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that Fatui Harbinger Il Dottore has a stronghold in NOD-KRAI. And for good reason too. NOD-KRAI is strange. Like, really strange.
Why? Where did that even... Why? What? Why are we... By the eye of Agamotto! Again! What are we doing, Minsleif? Did you put the wrong clip in the video?
Too. NOD-KRAI.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
Is strange. Like, really strange. Apparently, according to Mawika, the people of NOD-KRAI are able to use a special power that predates the 7 elements of Teyvat.
The moons.
Potentially predating visions. And that's weird because what does that mean? This insinuates that NOD-KRAI's inhabitants possess a power that's not like anything we've seen before. Or maybe we have seen it before. This power might have something to do with the Frost Moon Scions, whom we first hear about during the version 5.3 event on the Trails of Behemoths. Helka is an event-exclusive NPC and happens to be the first NPC from NOD-KRAI
Oh, yeah, this is the one that had all the insane lore inside of the boss fights, right?
that we meet. Helka belongs to a mysterious organization in NOD-KRAI. A former adventurer named Katia
this kid had the
raised
fucking
her
lore,
and
dude.
several others. After experiencing
This
the
is insane.
monsters that her area had to offer, Helka decided to leave to explore the monsters in other nations, posting a commission in the Adventurers Guild to obtain our help. According to Helka, the Frost Moon Scions live in the wilds of NOD-KRAI and allegedly worship a moon deity whose statues are scattered throughout the land.
Yep.
Unlike the residents of Nasha Town, another area in NOD-KRAI,
I can't unsee Paimon's cape having the 3 moons on it anymore, dude, and everything else that we just learned is
the Frost Moon Scions lead a primitive lifestyle in forests and
I'm starting to think Paimon is the Welkin Moon. I think she's the remains of the 3 moons, or the remains of what was inside the 3 moons, and she is the ashes. She is the product of the ashes of the 3 moons, and she's risen and just been nurtured into a new moon. I deadass think that is a very likely theory.
are considered a weird bunch by the locals. Helka claims to have seen the Frost Moon Scions do magic, presumably unlike any elemental art we've seen before. An ancient civilization obsessed with moon worship might sound familiar to you. If you're aware of Arlecchino's backstory, you know exactly where this is going. According to the lore tied to her story, an ancient dynasty in Conria once revered a
Blood Moon
celestial
dynasty.
entity known as the Crimson Moon.
Oh, the Crimson
a mysterious
Dynasty, yeah.
deity they desperately prayed to for salvation. They begged for descenders, beings from beyond Tevat, to come to Conria, transcend the gods, and rewrite fate itself. Arlecchino's very existence might be proof that remnants of this dynasty and its forbidden rituals are still lurking in Tevat's shadows. And best of all, there might be more of these moon cults as far as NOD-KRAI. From a
True.
young age, Arlecchino could wield a strange flame before she acquired her pyro delusion and
Yeah, it's called the Molotov cocktail. New moon Paimon, I'm 30,000 feet above the ground, and I'm mentally screaming from the lore. Min, if you look to your left, do you see a moon? Out of curiosity.
pyro vision. Unlike normal pyro, this fire scars her body every time she
Is
uses
it looking okay?
leaving her limbs looking charred and branding her as cursed. Those killed by her flames don't just die, they leave behind after images. The echoes of their last screams haunted her dreams until she simply got used to them. According to her story quest, her cursed blood can be used as a potion that painfully erases memories so thoroughly that a person's old self is effectively killed, allowing them to live a new life. So where did she get these powers? Well, Piero seems to think the answer lies in the Fontaine book Paranary. I'm going to quickly summarize the origin of Arlecchino's powers based off what we know from Paranary and the Crimson Moon semblance.
For sure.
This section will contain theories and
You're about to go to the moon at
speculations
this point?
since
I don't blame you,
the
man.
intricacies of Arlecchino's origin story are still a mystery a la Conria style. So please take it with a grain of
Salt.
We're trying to deduce where NOD-KRAI people get their powers from with the literal crumbs that we have. Arlecchino is a
cockroach
descendant of the
Zhongli,
Crimson
dude.
Moon dynasty, an ancient era of Conria that existed thousands of years ago. This doesn't mean she's ancient herself. Instead, the implication is that members of the Crimson Moon dynasty might still exist today, still practicing the forbidden ritual, which consequently imbues children with the Bale Moon blood fire. That very
Sounds kinda
practice
fucked
was
up, huh?
considered too dangerous, even by Conria standards,
I wonder why.
possibly leading to the dynasty's downfall. Now let's talk about the Frost Moon Scions of NOD-KRAI. They worship the Frost Moon, which already sounds eerily similar to the Crimson Moon dynasty's reverence for their own lunar deity. If their story follows a similar pattern, then
I
there's
could
a
get
chance
everything
that
for the
they're
18
also
months.
practicing ancient forbidden rituals, except their
thank
power
you.
might be cryo-based
Bro, look at
instead
that.
of pyro. Katia
Such cool
does warn
animation.
Helka to stay away from the Frost Moon Scions and their eerie moon statues, almost as if uncovering their secrets comes with consequences best left untouched. If Arlecchino's Bale Moon blood fire can burn memories away, what if the Frost Moon's power can freeze something even deeper? Perhaps time itself? If Arlecchino's fire is unnatural, then what kind of twisted cryo abilities might the Frost Moon Scions have? Could they erase emotions? Freeze death? Freeze time itself? One thing's for sure, these ancient lunar cults are
This might be a bit of a weird question here, but what did people end up settling on for Capitano's weird-looking cryo powers? Do we think that could be Frost Moon shit? Maybe cryo delusion? Feel like we'd have seen it if it was a cryo delusion. Interesting.
hiding something. I mean, of course they are. And the deeper we dig, the more it feels like Arlecchino's curse is just the tip of the Frost Moon iceberg. The existence of the Frost Moon science suggests that Teyvat's lunar mysteries run even deeper than we thought. We have the Crimson Moon.
Also, yeah, delusion powers don't always look different, right? We got to think of the Foul Legacy and stuff with the Electro Delusion. The actual Electro doesn't look like a different color or anything. It just looks like Electro.
The Abyssal Moon.
So who's saying that a Cryo Delusion would look different than just Cryo?
Shattered Moon, or the Ancient Moon in that land, and now we have the Frost Moon. The worship of moon deities in Teyvat traces all the way back to the three Moon Sisters, some of the oldest and most mysterious figures in the game's lore so far. If the Frost Moon Scions and the people of NOD-KRAI have inherited powers tied to an alleged Frost Moon, then clearly these Lost Moons still hold influence over Teyvat today. One of the other known settlements in
But Foul Legacy is abyssal powers, right? The delusions are they powering it? No, yes, but where do you think the electro powers are coming from at that point? It pretty much has to be from the delusion, right? Like the actual electro that you see in the boss fight, for example.
Is Nashatown, home to a group called the Speranza. According to Helka, if the traveler ever visits, they should seek out her mentor Katya within the Speranza, hinting that this group might be the secret organization.
Also, yes, Signora's cryo powers did just look like normal cryo as well.
Dedicated to researching monsters and ancient phenomena. But the real mystery lies beyond the town. Somewhere in NOD-KRAI, there's an island where the Frost Moon Scions gather. This island is apparently covered in ruins reminiscent of the secret source automatons. There's a possibility that the secret source automatons originated from ancient dragon technology, and honestly, it'd be cool if we got some lore crumbs about the Cryo Dragon Sovereign in NOD-KRAI.
True.
Recently, NOD-KRAI has become even more dangerous than usual. The Fatui seem to be tightening their grip on the region with large-scale construction projects underway.
Hear me out, they buffed Shadow. Didn't they already do that?
And none other than Il Dottore running a stronghold there as well. Moiko warns the traveler that direct conflict with the Fatui is unavoidable the moment you step foot in Snezhnaya. And in NOD-KRAI, Dottore's subordinates are already swarming the area.
Because it was also a case of, you have to think as well, chat, the first trailer that we got where everyone was catching the ball and stuff, people are pretty sure, including myself now, that trailer was actually after the All Conquest and after everything was fixed and resolved. Because like Chaska's sat there and she's like, I wish she was here to see this, probably talking about you know who. The timeline for Natlan was fucking odd.
Yeah. His objective—
Wait, she said that? Yes.
—might involve the ancient moon's remnants still floating ominously in Natlan's sky. This seems way more large-scale than his usual experiments. Dottore, the ancient moon's remnants, and the mysterious power lurking in NOD-KRAI may all be a part of a much larger, more sinister plan. The question is, what exactly is the Fatui building? So we've got Dottore's stronghold, the
Stress for the whole player base at this point.
Fatui potentially up to no good, and an entire cult of moon worshippers. But you know what's even worse?
Imagine the summer event this year is Moon Sister related. I die Moon Kingdom Archipelago. So here's the thing though, man. Last year's event was technically moon related. We just didn't even know it. We literally, like you, I think you said in this video, or maybe that was in the previous video. I think it might have been the previous video actually. We gave 3 sacrificial pieces to the statues. It was the what was it? The tooth of the dragon as the sword, the scale of the dragon as the shield, and then the orb, the lantern. And then the traveler sent the new moon into the sky. It was the same. It's the same as exactly what they're fucking explaining here. It's insane. It is insane.
Or better,
how much they foreshadowed. Did you also see Minsleif? I'm going to go back and show you in a second, actually, because I fucking have to. This shit is insane. It's crazy.
Might not be the only one. There's still Columbina.
You have to stay here for 2 seconds. I'm sorry. I know you're on a flight, but it's so important.
If any connection to moon worship and the lost lunar deities, then you can bet we haven't seen the last of her. There's also Rayrir of Solnari, one of the 5 sinners of Conria, whose name literally translates to the Avenger of the Moon. I think it'd be really appropriate for him to show up in a nation mired in moon-related mysteries.
That'd be sick.
If Rayrir is a NOD—
I feel like he's a dog person. You know? Like Fenrir. Rayrir. You know? I think it'd be cool. Maybe a werewolf.
Then we're not just dealing with the Fatui. We're looking at something, hopefully, more dangerous. With the
Or just a furry, but
release
probably
of
werewolf.
NOD-KRAI later this year, we could be on the verge of finally uncovering what really happened to the ancient moons of Teyvat.
Yep.
Or are we about to wake something up that was meant to stay asleep?
I hope
If
so.
you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll
I will leave you. I'm going to play
see
it
you
at the
on
end for the
next
watch
video.
time as
Thank
well.
you again, Opera GX, for sponsoring today's video.
I'm a good
Leafy
friend.
Keeper Minsleif, and
You're getting
I'm
all
the
that watch
Genshin
time,
Impact
all
player, so
11
that
minutes and
you
18
don't have
seconds,
to.
every single one. Yeah, so couple of clouds, a star in the mountains, Celestia, Jesus fucking Christ. So there's now a sun symbol around the moons, and it looks like the stars are actually attached by a string. Could Paimon be a star? Oh, there's too much to fucking unpack, man. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's so weird, man. This is the most excited I've been about getting. Dead ass chat. Hear me out here. This is very weird. This is very weird. This web event has made me more excited about Genshin than the first Natlan stream did.